Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for Faithful Friday. What a blessing it is to be alive and well, and here to jump on and just talk to you about my week. This week, it was a pretty awesome week. Shout out to my cousin LaRonda for the tea. Faith over fear, because that's really where I'm at right now. I'm operating in faith and I don't have time for fear. But again, this week started off Monday. It started off just dealing with self control. And I really had to focus on that. I ended up doing a video on my YouTube. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out there. It's just talking about practicing self control, making sure that you don't give your control away to anyone. But then we had got into Tuesday, and that's when I really got into, just doing my study. And for Tuesday, I mean, it got deep. It really did. It was all about spending time getting quiet. Spending time getting quiet is just like the best remedy for, tangled situations. When you're dealing with some tangled situations, taking a step back from the emotions, the frustrations, the exhaustion, and just sitting quietly with our Father will do a lot to untangle a mess. For me, that's what I found. Got a chance to tune in to Pastor Mike on Tuesday and Wednesday because I had to break it up. It was just that many nuggets, y'all. But got a chance to tune in to Pastor Mike. If you're not familiar with him, he's on YouTube, an amazing pastor. I call him my online pastor because he keeps me going. But he just had some very good nuggets that I wanted to talk about even on today. He talked about us taking our life from an expectation stage to an execution stage. And I know a lot of us this year have been trying to make sure that we're being obedient with those things, those promises that we made over our life that we wanted to accomplish. And we know now that we're in the fourth quarter. So if you haven't begun to execute, the time is now. And so he just talked about you cannot be the right person in the wrong place. And for me, that just hit really deep. You can have all of the right tools, you can have all of the right resources, but sometimes if you're in the wrong place, it just won't work. You will find yourself really struggling to accomplish those things that you're trying to accomplish. The bottom line is it's hard for you to become what God has destined for you to be if you're not in the right place. And so 2023 has been for all about me getting in the right place, staying in the right place, making sure I'm connecting with the right resources, making sure that I'm not wasting my time, making sure that I'm keeping my boundaries. My big thing now is giving a hard no and a slow yes, because it's okay. You don't have to be there and show up for everything. Wednesday was all about dealing with your thoughts. Toxic thoughts are so detrimental to our health because they leave no room for us to be able to flourish. In the absence of truth, lies reign. So your mind begins to believe these different things and the poison that it's trying to feed it. And we have to make sure that we're feeding our mind the right things. So what should you do when you begin, what should you do when these toxic thoughts try to drag and bring you down? Well, I'll say one is you have to ask yourself when you're dealing with some things or you're thinking some things about someone, did someone actually say this to you or are you assuming and thinking it? Because I've heard the saying throughout the years, I don't know what it is. It's just something I feel. Well, is it something you're feeling or is it a reality? You also have to ask yourself, are you engaging in the truth? Are you feeding your mind the right things to make sure that these poisonous thoughts are not having a chance to find residence in your mind? Then lastly, you got to ask yourself, are certain situations, friendships, feeding my insecurities? If so, maybe you got to take a break. Maybe you got to take a break. Even if it's just for a season, you need to seek friendships that are going to be characterized by truth, honor, and love. You need to be around good people. That's the bottom line. And you know what else is detrimental to your health? Comparison, because it stinks. That's right. Comparison has us all over the place. We have to remember, Satan will always try to point out what's wrong and block out what's right. We all have so many great things that are going on for ourselves. We don't need to compare ourselves with anyone or anything, even though we may feel strange a bit to be off balance. And at times we must remember God is holding us in the palm of his hand. We don't need to compare. He's given us all our own purpose. He's placed plans over our lives that he wants us to accomplish. And so he doesn't want anything to get in the way of that. We have to continually examine our hearts and make sure that there's no ill will or unforgiveness that resides inside of us towards anyone that will block our blessings that God has for us. Remember, guys, it's a new season. And doors are opening up like never before. Unique opportunities that you couldn't even imagine coming your way. And so we have to be ready for them. We have to evaluate the possibilities. We have to be open to the possibilities. We're all going through some transitions. We are. Some transitions can, resemble like, times that you've been through before. But you got to remember, old things are going to pass away. God even reminded me on this morning that for those of us that need a different outcome, we have to make adjustments to our method of operation. These are the days that when it's important to look through the lens of truth, regardless of the competing deception that may come our way. We have to be honest with ourselves and not blame others for our shortcomings. I know even I was listening to a message this morning from Pastor Keon, and he said, when you become overwhelmed by life and the circumstances that you're dealing with, maybe your system, that the system you're using, it's not working. And that's when you got to get on your face and you got to pray. And you got to ask God to show you the way. Every day I'm asking God to make me efficient in those things I don't understand. I'm asking him to help me think outside the box. I'm asking him to make me strategic in my thoughts. And I'm asking him to help keep me gentle and kind and transparent. And most of all, keep me in a place where I shine my light about those great things that he's doing in my life and in the life of others. So again, y'all, it's another Faithful Friday. We're going to be operating in faith and not fear. It's a wonderful disconnect ahead. I've got an amazing disconnect that's coming up. So if you're looking for the guys, stay tuned. I will be posting soon where you can find us this weekend. But you know the drill. It's the disconnect. Do something that your future self will thank you for, even if it's just getting some rest, because that's okay too. That's a part of the disconnect as well. But you know the drill. I'll see you soon. I'll be back on next Friday. But until then, stay safe, stay blessed. And I don't care how anyone feels. Make sure that you shine your light.